Hello Internet, Sir Mutton Chops here. Welcome back, and I am so done with that voice. I cannot tell you how done with that voice I am. I'm just through. So for those of you who don't know, this has been a parody channel for the better part of 2 years. It all started from a private Minecraft server wherein members thought I sounded like a few YouTubers, one in particular. And I know it was meant as a compliment, but it just didn't sit well with me. The flattery fell flat, it lost its luster, and I felt dehumanized. I felt raped. Because, I don't know, I like to think of myself as an individual, at least on some level, and there's nothing worse than being told that you look like someone or you sound like someone. It makes it feel like that's the only reason why you're valued. That's the only reason why people keep you around is because you're a derivative of something else that's interesting. So yeah, rather than just take it on the chin and move on, I decided, well, why not make a parody channel of said YouTubers and see where that goes. And it went places, and I got bored with it. The novelty wore off, and I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna do other things. I'm gonna start another channel, and I'm gonna still continue to upload EverQuest footage, but this will be my last video for this channel. Now, you don't have to worry. I'm not going to destroy any of this footage. I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to leave it up for posterity because that's why I found this server to begin with. I'd lost my original EverQuest screenshots, and that led me into kind of a fury to look for anything and everything from Classic EverQuest because, in my opinion, it was the best MMORPG to ever grace the face of this earth. I'm pissing off all of the WoW players out there, but I don't care. I have my opinion, and while it may be subjective, I think there's a little objectivity in there because the game is very inconvenient, and I think that inconvenience makes it more memorable. So, in the spirit of that, and in light of the fact that it's been the new year, I decided to get rid of my character and all of the gear that I had with him, and the other account that I had with my twinked out rogue. Had a really twinked out rogue, and to just start over again from scratch, naked, complete newbiedom, because it seems to be that on this server the player base has this, I don't know, has this mentality that he with the best item wins, and he with the best item is the happiest. And I just don't agree. I think it's just nonsense. It's just pixels, you know. You can go from point A to point B. You can try to get to level 60 as fast as possible, but I guarantee you, you're not going to be happy. You'll be happy for a little bit, but you always have to increase it. It's like an addiction. You gotta increase the dosage. You gotta get the better item because unfortunately, and I don't want to get like on a, I don't want to get on a podium here. I'm not going to preach Stentorian from the mount, but somebody's always going to have something better than you, and somebody's going to drive by in a better car or run by in better gear. It's probably going to be a bard or something, and you're going to try to get more and more and more, and it's just never going to satisfy you. So I can't get no satisfaction. Yeah, I gotta throw in some song references as well, but it's just something that I noticed with myself. I was farming too much. I had some good gear, an Addy Club. I had the White and Treant Fist. It's not the best stuff out there, but I just got too comfortable, and I wanted everything to be different and have a challenge, and I didn't want to farm things anymore. So over the holidays, you probably did notice if you did a quick who-all that I was in fact farming constantly, but it wasn't for me. It was for the giveaway. When I gave away all of my items and my character. So yeah, that's how I spent my holidays. And it was actually a lot of fun. I don't have any social obligations. I don't really have any family. I do get out, for those of you who really care. We're worried, Scott. We're worried. That's my real name, by the way. I don't need any interventions. I'm quite happy with my life. I like documentaries. I like browsing the internet for cheap books. I get out, but I'm not like everyone else necessarily. I think we're all different, but I don't let other people tell me or dictate to me what makes me happy. I don't follow the crowd necessarily. In fact, I usually end up going a little off to the side, a little north by northwest. Now I got to make movie references. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing with this. Now I will be continuing on with the Path to Grandmaster series, but obviously we'll be starting over from scratch. We'll be doing level 1 footage, and you'll get to watch me kill a large rat instead of taking part of a different raid or something. But that's part of the charm of EverQuest, I think, and hopefully it will be entertaining. I will be holding on to the footage for a while, reserving it because I want to blend into the community, and I think that by posting videos, it outs me a little bit. I won't say that I'm famous. If I am, it's like Pauly Shore famous. I'm on the fringe, but it definitely does affect the experience. It alters it a little bit, and I want for anyone who hasn't played this game or who hasn't been on the server to kind of get an authentic view of what goes on. That is to say that I would like to be killstealed. I would like to be trained. I would like to have someone try to rip me off in auction. Someone to offer me RMT. Lots of different things that go on in the server, and I think it's important. I think it's a good thing to have. So I don't want it to be perverted by any kind of quote unquote fame, if you want to call it that. Which is really a bad word because it's not. It's kind of ridiculous actually. I'm just a guy that uploads gaming footage. I sit here sometimes with bed hair and morning breath, and sometimes I come home and I'm a little in a stupor. But whatever. You guys watch, and if you find it entertaining, so be it. And I'm really thankful that you guys are along for the ride because it's a lot of fun. It makes the game more interesting for me. Some of you actually said that you came back to EverQuest because you found the footage and it reignited something, or I don't know what. And that felt really cool. It's like, wow, I didn't know I had that kind of effect on anyone. I never really felt like that much of an influence on anybody. So that's interesting. It's a very interesting thing. And it's really cool to actually see a lot of these people back in game. I haven't seen Hitpoint, I haven't seen Winslow, a few other familiar faces, but I found Tulsimer. He's got another ranger he's working up. He's twinked as hell, but he's working up on his rangerness and representing, if I can say that. I don't know if I could say that. I don't think I have enough street cred to say representing, but. Yeah, I'm going to try out the rogue class. That's going to be interesting. Oh, and real quick, speaking of familiar faces, Amanita here, you won't recognize, but this is in fact the character from Kesora, the dead gnome that I that I dragged to the bottom of Kesora for a res. Crazy Mage, same character. So he decided to go ahead and drag me into Soul Dungeon B, and I got some more experience for my monk, so I could get him to level 52. That way, whoever won my account could, I don't know, farm more effectively, raid if they so chose, and do whatever else they wanted, and still have a little bit of wiggle room to XP. So yeah, we're gonna get back into the thick of things. I'm gonna probably roll a rogue, and you'll get to see how to get the Dark Elf Illusion Mask in Lower Guck. I already did that actually before. Somebody from Flawless Victory was down there, Zarya, and she went ahead and let me loot a nice mask. It was relatively easy, so you guys get to see me do that again. So yeah, that should be interesting. It's actually very easy to do, but I'm thinking of all the other quests that are available to rogues that I'll be attempting and hopefully completing in a relative short amount of time. I'm not too sure how I'll go about doing that, but it will be in-game footage. I'll be doing commentary in-game. The monk's a different story, but hopefully it'll be interesting. I may try different classes, but I think sticking to 2 classes should be enough. And I'm not pure caster material. It's too confusing for my mind. With the mage, you have different pets for different instances. Some people say that certain pets aren't any good at certain levels, and it's just. And then you have to worry about it out damaging you. And then you have one of the more complicated classes of purecasters, the Enchanter. It's just too much for my head. Some people really like that stuff. They like the intricacy of that, and I don't know. I like a little bit of spice to my characters. I don't like playing tanks necessarily. Not to say that they're boring. Some people really do like them, and they're definitely necessary for gaming, for raiding and all that. But I like to have a little spice to my characters. So Rogue offers that with poisoning. I can gather the ingredients that are necessary for different poisons and test them out and see what happens. And I can do pick lock and backstab, and then I've got the quests and the different masks. I think there's like 7 masks in total once you get to Velios, which everyone is pining for. But I don't care. I'm fine. I got Canark. I've got Classic. Again, it's that whole A to B mentality. I'm not going anywhere. This game will still be here, and I'm going to enjoy the content regardless. Eventually, all those people clamoring for Velios, annoying the GMs for Velios, will get it, and then they'll get bored. And then what are they going to do? You know? I'm gonna be happy with my cracked staff. I guarantee you. You may have the most uber item out there, but what I have is I don't know, blind optimism. I don't think it's blind optimism. I don't know what I have. I have nonsense. I have sheer stupid brute will, determination. Maybe it's just the footage because I have that backup that if anything goes wrong, I'll be like, well, that's going to be good footage. You know, if I get a train, it's well, that's going to be good footage. That's nothing more classic than having a huge train on your hands. That's not to say that I'm so masochistic as to cause a train. I'm just saying if something goes bad, I can look on the bright side of life. I can say, oh, well, that's not really that bad at all, you know, and it comes almost immediate. Where in any other circumstance, I think you'd have to have hindsight to really laugh at things. Uh, Case in point, actually, not to bring my real life into things a little too much, but I used to have a really piece of shit car. It was a Saturn, and I think it was a 1987, so it was 1 year younger than I am. And oh my god, this thing was so bad. The brake pads wore down so thin on that thing that I actually had to use the emergency brake, or is it the safety brake? I forget what the actual correct terminology is for that device, but I had to use that lever to slow the car down. And when it got to when I saw a red light up ahead, it was so not street legal. That car was so not street legal. But I had to get to my externship, which didn't pay me anything, and oh god, that's another story I won't get into. It's all about EverQuest, but you see where the game kind of translates into real life, as with most games, unless you're playing like Call of Duty or something. I would hope Call of Duty doesn't translate into real life. We've had enough of that in the news, actually. Not to get dark or anything like that, but you know that's why you do gaming. You do gaming to escape, to immerse yourself into things, but you do see elements of real life there. Obviously, if you go and you have a quick gander of the forums, you'll notice that, especially RNF. You'll just see some beautiful human beings in the RNF section. Yes, and you could tell they're so happy. I mean, they've got all their loot, and then the banhammer comes down. It doesn't matter to them because they'll just hop on a different character with all their loot, and it's like you're missing the point. You're ruining the game. You know, somebody recreated it for us, and you're ruining it. You're like shooting the buffalo. You kill the elephant just for his tusks, man. Just take it back. Have some perspective, you know? They're better players than them. I'll guarantee you there. I have no qualms about that. They are streets ahead of me as far as playing is concerned. They know the ins and outs of different mobs. That's how come they can sometimes cheat and they get in trouble. But I think they still probably aren't as having as much fun. I think I can argue that. I think there's a real point there. So yeah, I'm going to avoid the raid scene for a while. I thought 6 months was enough to let the dust settle and hopefully things would clear up, but apparently it wasn't. So I'll just stay on the lower end of things. And hey, it's not so bad anyway because there's like a new influx of characters, a new influx of players. It's just amazing. I was on the other night and there was like 900 different people on at once. It was peak hours, but it was still amazing. 7, 8, 9 months ago, there was 500, 600, maybe 600. So that's nice. I mean, that's like half, a little bit less than half of what it was in original EverQuest on the Tanar server at least. We had about 2,000, I think almost 2,500. That's when the lag would start pouring in. You'd see your lag meter go to yellow and then red, and you'd be like face palming, God, why? But yeah, I'm gonna start over the monk and hopefully die less. Considering the fact that I have FD, I shouldn't have died at all. But you know, I'm not the best player out there. But I am learning. You notice in this footage, I've focused on positioning. I didn't actually screw up anywhere. There's a lot of little idiosyncrasies to this class, and I've picked them up slowly but surely. And I think that I'm not as timid about this class. You'll see here that actually I don't get aggro from the pull here. He had a single pull, but his problem was he didn't have sneak. He didn't drop the rest of the aggro by using sneak. And had he needed to also make sure that the sneak was successful. And that's not like a criticism or anything like that. He's hardly a bad monk at all. But this is what happens, and it's just a simple mistake. And I've made it 1,000 times over, but now I know. I'm like, oh, geez, that's. I mean, it seems simple, but really, when you're playing, it's so easy to forget this kind of stuff. So I'll be focusing on that and showing the ins and outs of the monk class. Hopefully, a little bit more surgically, if that's the word. Kind of showcasing what it has to offer, and I'm not going to be focusing on gear. I'm going to be focusing on how much mileage you can get out of your beater your beater monk, your car. I'm going to strip down my vehicle. It's going to be a VW bug, and we're going to see how far we can get, like in Seinfeld when he had the dealership car and they didn't have any gas in it. So we'll see how far we can get, and then once I need to upgrade my character, I'll start doing that. But a lot of it's going to be solo, a couple duo videos here and there, and probably eventually some grouping, because I do want to showcase how pulling works and how I'm still not really good at it. It takes a lot of work, and that's what's really cool about this game, is it really does challenge you. It takes a lot of time investment and a lot of I don't know, stubborn will and moxie, if that's the word. So yeah, I will be continuing on with all of that and more, and hopefully you guys will follow me. If not, you've got this channel to peruse at your pleasure, and it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, and hopefully there'll be more fun in the future, and I'll be able to replace all that footage I lost. It was a bad moment, but you know, these things happen, and you just have to live and learn and move on. I'm not exactly computer literate, so I'm gonna have to work on that. So yeah, I think that about wraps everything up. You've seen me kill the stone spider here, the guano harvester. We had a lot of fun, got some good XP. Didn't die. That's always good. That's always good. And I got to 52 eventually. Didn't do it in this footage, but I ended up doing it a little bit later. I think I was in over there. So yeah, I'll see you all later, and if not, good looking out.